Hello there, it's Amanda Fitzgerald and welcome to my series of frequently asked questions from the Profitable PR Show, where you get big visibility through the power of publicity. Hope you liked my lift music to lift your spirits this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world. So today's question is, what is the biggest pet hate that journalists have when you are pitching to them? Oh, there's quite a few. So what's the biggest one? Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm just going to share with you the ones and then see whether you actually make these mistakes when you're pitching to the press. But before I start, I want to give you some really important information. So I'm going to give you my lift music again. Big fat information drop is this. Journalists want to hear from you. Yes, they want to hear from you, and you. So it's not always a case of thinking, oh my goodness, I can't pitch to a journalist. They're so busy. They don't want to hear from us. They are constantly on the lookout for new case studies, new stories, new human interest element, things that they can talk about so that their readers, their viewers, their listeners can relish your stories, okay? It's their job to make the news interesting, and it's our job, your job, to actually supply the news to these people. So come on, what's stopping you? Probably one of their pet hates. So what is one of them? Oh my goodness. Do you know, I speak to journalists all the time, and this is a big fatty. So basically, it is being pitched to the wrong person for the wrong publication or the wrong section. So you might be wanting to pitch to the Times, but it doesn't mean to say that you need to pitch to the editor of the Times. You might have a great story about, financial investment or something about great tips on making savings, but you haven't done your due diligence. You haven't researched the very journalist you need to be pitching to, as in the finance journalist or investment journalist. You're actually pitching to the person who writes for travel or property. So be sure to get the right journalist when you're doing your pitch. That is one big fat tip. Another one that journalists dislike thoroughly, whether it's a TV show, whether it's a magazine or a newspaper, is when people pitch to them, or PRs pitch to them, and they don't even consume, read, listen to, watch that particular media show, piece of paper, newspaper, whatever. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, what you need to do, okay, to counter that is to literally start tuning in. So if you want to get onto Steph's Packed Lunch, start watching it and get used to the format and watch what things they cover off. If you want to get into the Telegraph and you want to get into this Interstellar magazine, which comes out on a Sunday, make sure that you read it, you consume it, and you get used to the journalists who are writing, and you get used to their writing style, and also, the sections within that very magazine. So every single newspaper, I'm going to say pretty much every media outlet will have different sections. So be sure you're pitching to the correct section. So that's another one. Ooh, this is another one. Ooh, you're guilty of this. Hands up who sent a pitch and heard nothing. Nada. Zilch. Yeah, have you ever done that? It could be because you have sent in an essay. So you remember I told you in one of my tips beforehand, journalists are very busy. They're working to a deadline because what are they doing? They're breaking news, and news is happening all the time. They haven't got time to be reading massive long essays. They want to have short, sharp, and sweet email pitches. So be sure to be very unverbose, okay? Another pet hate is you chasing them. So let's say you sent an amazing idea and it's really important and you think they should feature you immediately. Listen, I'm saying all this because I have been there and I have got the t-shirt. However, what you should not do is chase them, okay? So if you want to know how long to leave it in between pitching or in between following up, politely following up, my key tip is to leave it 3 days. It's not my tip. I'm just copying journalists, what they tell my clients whenever we do VIP pitch clinics. Ooh, this is another pet hate. I'm going to give you a bit more music to consume all of those, to let them sink. Ready for the next one? Oh, yes. This is a biggie. Now, PR agencies are guilty of this. And I would say entrepreneurs pitching are much less guilty of this, but you might be guilty of this. As I said, journalists are very busy and they need stuff in a hurry. Very often, they take ages to get their stuff back. So if they've asked you a question or they sent you an email, people tend to spend ages and ages and ages getting back to them. So what I want you to do is to respond super fast, be really, really quick with your responses. So if they're asking you a question, spin on a sixpence and literally deliver it there in an instant. I think somebody was coming into my office just then. Let's deliver a cup of tea, maybe. Should we hope for a cup of tea? Cheers for that. Anyway, so those are my tips. If you'd like to have any more information or any more help getting into the press, why don't you get, or rather book, a call with me? Go to amandapr.com/apply, and I'd love to see whether I can help you become really, really visible and that sought after media friendly expert. So they're going to be wheeling you out, talking about your area of expertise, as opposed to all the people they keep doing all the time. So there you go. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.